Hello, everyone. My name is Ava Nicole Francis, and I am here with Michael Fasano for an interview for the lineup on September 23rd. Michael, welcome. Thanks so much for
Thank
joining
you so
us.
much. It's a
Oh,
pleasure.
of course, of course. We're so happy to have you on.
I'm so happy to be here.
So, I think let's start let's take it all the way back. I like to start at the beginning.
Hey,
Did you know that you wanted to be a performer for a living?
oh my God. I think I probably knew when I was like 6 or 7 years old and like doing plays in my parents' backyard and forcing them to watch me. And then I started doing summer theater, which led to doing theater in school, which led, to me doing theater in college. So it's always just been a part of my life.
So you've always did you go to school for it and
I did, yes. I went to first I went to Boston College where I was minoring in theater, and then after Boston College, I went to Boston Conservatory where I was like theater.
Mhm.
I just decided to really focus. It was where my passion just was, and honestly, it felt like the thing that I was the best at. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna go for it.
And then how did you make your transition from school into the professional world?
Well, we had a showcase at the end of our program at Boston Conservatory, and then I just moved to New York with some of the kids in my class, and it just went from there. The very first thing I booked was a South Korean tour of the show Grease,
Mm.
which took me to South Korea for 6 months. And we also went to Malaysia and we went to Singapore. So that was my very like my indoctrination into the business, and it was so was I had never done anything like that. I'd never left the country. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow. Okay, that's so, I mean, I love a tour. I would love to go on tour.
It
So,
was so cool. It was a huge culture shock. You know, there was so much to get used to apart from just mounting my first professional production like this.
yeah.
It was also, adjusting to the food that was available, adjusting to, our schedule, which was a 9 show week. There was a lot to get used to very fast, but it was wonderful. And then from there on, I just the shows luckily kept coming, and I did the Jesus Christ Superstar National Tour. Um, and then I started doing cruise ships, which also, so a lot of my career has actually been very travel oriented, which has been exciting.
Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna say, so you I think you're, I guess, most known for playing like Frankie Valli in the Jersey Boys,
Yes,
regionally and on the cruise. Um,
correct.
what's it like taking on like a role that as iconic as that?
It's tough. It was tough. I think there's a lot of expectation because obviously incredible foundation has been laid by such amazing actors who've played him like on Broadway. And when I booked Jersey Boys on Norwegian Cruise Line, I booked their very first production that they were mounting there, and I booked it as a swing. So luckily, I had time to sort of ease my way into the role because it really is a role about stamina. You have 27 songs to get to, and luckily the version that's on the ship is a little bit shorter,
Mm.
so it was a little bit of a break. It has like one less song, and every scene has like three less lines, so they found a way to make it a 90-minute show. um, but eventually I would have to learn the whole show when I started doing it regionally. um, but yeah, I got sort of a slow exposure to it, and I could really build up to it. And by the time I found my stride, and they actually cast me as Frankie in the third cast that went out, I felt right at home with it, and I wasn't absolutely dying and hoarse by the end.
Yeah, I mean that's a deeply difficult role to take on, and
It's
I mean,
it's crazy.
I've seen it. I've seen the show, and it's yeah, it's that's definitely not an easy role. So I imagine doing that on a cruise is probably doubly as difficult, and especially as a swing too. That's
Yeah, well, when I was a swing, I was covering Frankie as well as three other roles. So it was a lot of there was a lot of studying that had to happen.
I'm sure
It
swinging
was,
is
it was really
crazy.
rewarding, and I love that company, and it was just a pleasure to do. And I was so lucky that I got promoted, And when I actually got to play Frankie, that was just, and anytime I get to do that, it's just fantastic and exciting. The show means so much to such a array of people, and it's an honor that I got to do it.
So I think like going off of your, your swing work, I think that that's something that not a lot of people necessarily understand, like the level of work that goes into that.
Yeah.
What was your like typical day to day, like switching into different roles? Like, how was that for you?
Well, I took the index card route where I would write down, all of the blocking and what have you on index cards, so I could just kind of like quiz myself that way because I'm a very sort of visual learner. And what we would do is when I was a swing for Jersey Boys, I would go in like the lighting booth or be in like the back of the house, and I would pick a different track every night that the show was going, and I would do the show along with them in that track. And I bet that happens in Broadway houses more than you realize. You know
I'm
what I mean?
sure,
Like
yeah.
swings are somewhere in the building practicing, probably out in the lobby, because you have to be so ready. And it actually was a great skill set because later, when I did the Rocky Horror Show, I was playing Riff Raff, but I had to understudy Frankenfurter, and I was on maybe a week into the run of the show because I did that production coming out of COVID, so people were getting sick all the time.
Wow.
So I really feel like Jersey Boys and that experience of being a swing like really got me ready for swing life and understudying, in other shows. So it was a great, invaluable experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Gosh, that'd be so fun. A swing and a cruise and a big show like
Oh
that.
my God, that was great. We traveled everywhere too. When Jersey Boys was installed on Norwegian Cruise Line, we were in the Netherlands, and then we made our way to America, and then we did Mexican runs, and then we went to Alaska for the summer. I mean, it was fantastic.
Wow, so you guys covered a lot of ground with that.
We did.
It's the
We
best kind of tour.
That's the thing. The crazy thing about my life in the business is like so many of my jobs have been travel oriented. So I really have been everywhere.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Is there a place that you haven't toured yet that you would love to go to?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really want to go to London. I've
Yeah,
not been to London, and I just, that's like the theater. Besides where we are, that's like a theater center. There's so
yeah,
much going on over there. So
yeah.
maybe London, in Australia. I've never been to Australia.
I have also not been to Australia and would love to go there.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
Fine.
End the interview. Okay. So now that's all of your like your theater stuff, which is, amazing and all that. You are also an alternate vocalist for the Doo-Wop project.
I sure am.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about like what that is, what you do?
Mhm. The Doo-Wop Project is a amazing vocal group that does, obviously doo-wop music and Motown music, and it's comprised of Broadway alum from Motown and Jersey Boys and Bronx Tale, and it was started by this music director who's doing a lot of stuff right now, Sonny Palladino, and he's actually in the show. He plays, and Charles Brown is in it, who was nominated for a Tony for playing Smokey Robinson in Motown. So there's really amazing, and this guy Dom Nolfi, who is a Broadway vet, he is sort of at the center. Um, I'm just so honored to be amongst them. I mean, they have had fantastic careers. They are so talented, and Dua Project actually has an amazing following. We play to sold out houses all over the country, so it's a really fun, exciting show. And if you like that genre of music, you should definitely look for it hitting a city near you. I believe they're at Ole Miss tonight, so
Hmm.
in Mississippi.
Well, I gotta catch you guys sometimes when you're here.
Yeah.
What is it, do you think, about like that style of music that attracts an audience and that you guys grab?
Um, I think it's the nostalgia. I mean, I think it's a amazing time for music, like 50s, 60s. It's just I think it just tugs at people's heartstrings, and it reminds a certain generation of, like their first dances and their first dates and the songs that they had at their weddings. Like that's the type of feedback we're constantly getting. The songs that were playing on the radio when they were growing up. So there's that demographic, and then they bring their grandchildren or their adult children, and everybody just feels sort of a connectivity to, family and to their histories. It's really special to get to provide that for people.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think there's so many types of music out there and they're not necessarily resurfaced as much as they should be. So I think
Well, and that's a good point. Like, it's also kind of a preservation, like when you have a show like this that tours around, it keeps that music alive.
Mhm.
And what people really get a kick out of seeing, like older generations get a kick out of seeing younger generations singing their music. It's kind of how we will probably feel in like 50 years if there's like a Britney Spears tribute group going around like singing Britney. We'll be like, oh, I remember.
I remember back in my day.
Yeah, I
You better
remember.
be.
So it's you remember exactly where you were and what you were doing when certain songs come on, and I think that's what people kind of get out of it. I love doing it. So anytime I get to sub for them, it is so much fun.
Oh, amazing. Well, I mean, that's so cool. You're so multi-talented and you're doing
Oh,
all these things. Well, so on top of that, because that leads me right into it,
yeah.
not only are you a performer, singer, actor, dancer, you're also an author and you wrote a
Yes.
play.
I did. I wrote my very first play. I wrote it this summer, and I'm thrilled about it. We had a reading of it, and it went really, really well. And now, it's a piece that I wrote to showcase myself. So I'm in like the lead role. My husband is directing it. My husband Elliot Maddox, who is also he's a Broadway alum, and we're currently looking for producers and backers. So if anybody's interested, holler at me. It's a
Whoever's watching,
great
any
show.
any of them producers watching, you know where to go now. Call him. Could you, if you don't mind, could you tell us a little bit about what it's about? Like any little like plot?
Sure. I'll be very sort of secretive because it's a
Okay.
show that where the story unfolds. It's a little bit of a mystery, but it's a love story, and I play a character named Alex, who's a 40 something New Yorker like myself. But unlike myself, he's very unlucky in love, and he's very cynical. And then he meets someone very unexpectedly who has a very profound effect on his general experience. And there's two other actors who are friends of his who become involved in it, and it's a whole thing. And that's all I can say because
Okay.
it's sort of a mystery.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to wait for it to be fully published and put on Broadway then.
Right. And the only way that can happen is if some producers holler at me. So let's go.
So if you liked that plot, is what I'm hearing.
That snippet of all I'm willing
A
to say.
little vague synopsis in the moment.
Exactly.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I love it. I'm very interested. So,
Good. So glad to hear that.
oh, of course.
The
Um,
show is called Something in Between, and there's an Instagram page for it, so you can look for that.
something in between on Instagram. Well, I'll definitely be following along on that journey
Thank
because
you, Ava.
that sounds
Appreciate
so
it.
cool. Is there anything that you have like kind of coming up that you want to talk about, want to promote, anything going on for you?
Well, I am an actor who is always auditioning. So in my manifest mind, I have like 4 or 5 gigs coming up. But what's in the immediate future is the lineup with Susie Moser, which I am thrilled about. I learned of Susie through my best friend, Erin Fuchsa, who has worked with her with the Indianapolis Symphony. And I'm just thrilled. Oh, and also, you know what I should say? Our accompanist, Lon. I work with him on Doo Wop Project.
Oh
He
my
is,
gosh, yeah.
yeah, he is one of the alternate music directors, and he does a lot of the rehearsing with the singers. But anyway, yes. So the most current thing that I have coming up is the lineup, and I'm very excited.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we are so excited to have you. I can't wait to see you. For anybody watching, please come on out to the Green and 42
Yeah.
this Tuesday, September 23rd, and watch Michael along with a whole host of other extremely talented people, and of course, the Susie Mosher.
All right.
It's going to be just the best show literally ever. It always is.
I'm pumped. Bring it on.
Oh, absolutely. Michael, thanks so much for coming on and chatting, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.